like there's something that needs to be addressed. There's a big misconception between let me make sure I word this right. There's a big misconception between taking action or the freedom / ability / capacity to make a decision, or decisions plural, and being in control. We seem to have blurred the line between decision making and being the gods of our own destiny. I feel like this is a grave danger, because not only does it fill us with a false sense of reality, not the decision-making part, but being in control. What are we really in control? Well, you say, a millionaire might say, well, I decided to go into business and get a degree into business, and I knew the direction I was going to take and the steps that it would take to get there. I learned what those were, and I followed the steps, and I did the things, and I did all this, and blah, blah, blah. And it resulted in me being a millionaire. Okay. Does that mean that you're in control? Did you create the steps? And even if you did, how does it equate success? You know, because sometimes you can make all the right decisions and it doesn't get you anywhere. Sometimes you can do your best at something and your best is not good enough. That's a fact of life. Life is not like this elementary school idea of reality, in the sense that we put forth an effort and it's automatically good enough, or we automatically get a gold sticker for our efforts. That's not the way the real world works. I've done jobs where, I put my best foot forward and it just wasn't, just wasn't good enough. This could be a prime example. I'm doing my best to convey an idea and maybe it's just not good enough. I mean, I'm trying to be consistent in my philosophy or ideology here. And the fact is that I'm a fallible person. It's a fact. So I'm not going to sit here and think that everything I say is the right thing. Everything I do is the right thing. Everything I think is the right thing. Sure, I believe that when I say something, it's right. I believe that when I do something, it's right. I believe that when I think something, it's right. But sometimes in life, we do believe something. We do take action. We do say something. And we mean it with 100% sincerity. And we either learn later that, yeah, it was the right thing to do, think, or say, or it was the wrong thing to do, think, or say. And for all of you philosophers out there, maybe one day I'll look back on this and say, well, that was the wrong thing to think, do, or say. But that's just part of life. This idea that we have to go into something and know all about it or be perfect in our thought process, it's just not realistic for finite humans, for finite minds. It's not a realistic approach to healthy mentality, not in my opinion. And going back to this illusion of control, there's so many things that have to go right for success, or all the bad things have to go wrong. And even still, I think everybody successful individual would tell you the hardships that they had to overcome. But I just feel like there's a dangerous. I'm not really going to go into it. I mean, I'm not an expert, but I feel like in the depth of my heart and mind, there is a sincere danger between confusing decision making and being in control. We are and do have the freedom. We are free and do have the freedom to make decisions, and decisions result in things. We like to apply the laws of physics to the actions and decisions that we make. With every action, there's a reaction, and if you don't do anything, then nothing's going to happen. Well, I feel like there's a philosophical rabbit hole to go down with those ideas and that mentality, and I don't really want to go down it, but just think about the difference between decision making and being in control, because all of us make decisions. We make choices, we take action in our personal and professional lives, and it does result in something, and sometimes it results in nothing, which in my eyes is actually something, because you take an action, maybe you don't get anything in return, and that's something does take place in return or in response to the action that was originally taken. But it's just dangerous, because I don't feel like as human beings we are in control. Really, what do we control? You might say, well, you controlled your day to make this video and hook up a mic and order the microphone and blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, that's true. But is it going to get me anywhere? I'm not in control of that. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I think Herodotus, I think he was a Grecian historian, an ancient Grecian historian. Maybe, I'm not 100% positive, and I'm not going to quote him verbatim. But Herodotus was a historian a long time ago, and I think there's a beautiful quote made by him, and it's, "Man does not rule circumstance, but circumstance rules men," or rules man. Like I said, I'm not sure of the exact wording, and I feel like that is so true. And as a society, to get to the point as a people to believe that we are in control of every little thing, not just the decisions that we make, but the results in those decisions, that's delusional. In my opinion, that's just delusional. You are in control of the things that you can do, say, and think. And those can change, and they should change within reason, because that's all of life, is receiving knowledge and information and then submitting to it. What are the patterns in reality that you have the capacity to recognize, or maybe even share to others? But the danger of thinking that not only are you in control of the decisions or actions that you take, but you're also in control of the results, man, that's scary. And I feel like as an American people, that's kind of where we are, in the sense that we think we can control the result, like we're just going to speak it into existence, or fake it till we make it. I just think those are scary, scary things. Fake it till you make it. Well, first of all, you don't know that you're going to ever make it. And do you want to spend potentially, in theory, do you want to spend your whole life faking it? You're going to be a fake person. We think that we're going to fake it till we make it, because if we fake it for a week, then we're going to make it. And there again, it comes back to thinking that we can control the result initially. If I fake it for a little bit, eventually I'll make it. And maybe that little bit will be a week or a couple days. You don't know. And so you fill your head with the illusions that you do know, and that whatever effort, hard or difficult it may, however difficult it may be, that you won't have to make that effort for long. Well, maybe you will. Maybe you will. And the thing is that you don't know. So I just feel like as an American society, we're in a dangerous place. And I've never been outside the States, so I don't know if other people's agree with this or can connect with it or relate to it or whatever. But I just feel like it's got to change. We need to change in what we think control is. You know, control is planting a garden. Control is not guaranteeing yield. It's not guaranteeing a harvest. There are lots of measures that you can take. You can know what to do and when to do it, how to plant, what to plant, where to plant, how to fertilize. There's tons of steps that you can take, but it does not guarantee crop. It will increase the probability and chances by maybe even 99% efficacy. But there's just no guarantee in life. Look, a few months ago, who would have ever thought that there would be a pandemic? A year ago, this time, we would have never thought we would have been out of work and that the government would issue us money for shutting down all of American society. Maybe historians that saw that this was, something that every president has done or, whatever, and it's resulted in boosting the economy. But, that doesn't result in a guarantee. So it's just something to think about once again. Because if we're not careful, we'll be a delusional people.